The National Theatre, which is the epicenter of cultural activities in Nigeria, has been undergoing renovations for months. For its revival, many projects have been conceptualized, and some of the plans towards execution is this workshop and training on marketing the National Theatre as a world-class event center and entertainment hub. The second day was the interagency engagement on National Theatre approach to wealth creation. The federal agency identified key stakeholders for partnership.
The Act setting many of these agencies up, there are overlapping responsibilities to the point that often some CEO feel that you are intruding into their space of mandate. We just believe that we're serving the same people, the same government. So why don't we synergize?
I think that with a high level of participation by more than 10 federal agencies in the cultural sector, it tells me indeed that we are at the dawn of new results that will be coming from synergies that will emerge from this meeting.
The participants say it is a well thought out initiative that needs to be sustained.
Synergy is very important in whatever we're doing in Nigeria. At this point, when we need to create wealth, oil is going down, we need to get people from outside the country. Hence, we need to synergize here so that we can have power, so that people can actually come over to come and see what we have in Nigeria.
Conferences here and there, Georgia, according to what they said. But the problem in Nigeria generally is implementation. We take decisions in a fora like this, but we don't implement those decisions. But in this case, in this matter case, we're already seeing practical purposes.
The interactions, engagements, and collaborations with stakeholders in the creative industry are expected to ensure that the National Theatre beams with cultural activities by the time the national edifice is back and running. Ola Awakon, TVC News, Lagos.
All right, that's the crux of what we'll be talking about. The National Theatre has organized that interagency engagement to foster wealth creation in the creative industry. And this is one of the fora by the federal agency towards the preservation of culture. Now, to discuss this with me is Nigeria's creative industry and the role of the National Theatre. I have with me the General Manager of the National Theatre, Igomu, Lagos, Professor Sunday Ododo. Professor, it's good to have you join me.
My pleasure.
And welcome to TVC.
Thank you very much.
Great. Now, the National Theatre has been a signature monument, or not just for Nigeria, but for Africa for so many years.
Yes.
And it reminds us of arena like the O2 Arena in the UK, or even the Royal Albert Hall in the UK, and so many others across the world. However, there has been talk about the dilapidation of the National Theatre for so many, two, three decades and so on. What is going on there right now? We hear there are so many activities going on. Talk to us about it.
Yes. I think Nigeria is fortunate.
Fortunate?
Very fortunate. Over the years, there have been efforts to see how the National Theatre can be revamped and restored, spanning different administration. President Muhammad Buhari saw the need to get this done once and for all. And the federal government had a very good deal with the Bankers Committee to come in and restore, revamp, and make it more technologically driven, in tune with modern times, so that the national edifice can come back to life again. A huge sum of 21.8 billion naira is being put into this. And they have 15 months to deliver. work done so far have been endorsed by the technical team, that's in charge of the project. 2-3 weeks ago, they came to visit to assess the level of work done. High on this team were the Central Bank of Nigeria's governor, Godwin Emefiele, my own Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Mohammed. They were there and they were impressed with the level of work done. So it is expected that they'll keep to the project timeline. By November, December next year, they should deliver a brand new national theatre to Nigeria.
Wow. I like the word brand new. So it's going to take us back to the days when it was used in 1977 for the first Act 77, when the whole of Africa and even the world converged on Lagos for the the culture festival that year. Okay, now let's talk about the issue of maintenance.
Good.
Because that is a very pivotal and very cruxy issue.
Yes.
Remember, after the use in 1977, a few things were happening there from what we got. I wasn't in Lagos that time, but we read up on we got to know how it was used. But eventually, over the last 20 years, I would say, nothing significant has been happening there, apart from once in a while where maybe one concert happens there or one event happens there and so on. What will be different this time around that we're going to have a brand new, because I'm quoting you now, a brand new national theatre?
It's a well thought out design. The federal government is conscious of this. They took a holistic review of how we got here. So the new arrangement factors consistent and routine maintenance into the new package. A maintenance company will be brought on board that will be there consistently to ensure that the system works perfectly. So that way, we don't like to return back to Egypt. So
there's assurance that adequate funds are available to, after the revamping and rejuvenation, there's going to be maintenance as well. It's part of the contract going forward.
It's part of it.
Good. Now, let's talk about the issue of marketing it and promoting it for patronage. Because it is one thing to bring it back to life where the National Theatre is as brand new as it was in 1977 or even better. But it's another thing for it to be used where it is meeting up its, say, objective. Because if it is just an edifice and nothing is going there, it still won't mean anything. So talk to us, what are the strategies to market it, to ensure that it's promoted and it is used the way it's supposed to be used?
To start with, the new understanding is that the new National Theatre will be managed with business principles. To this effect, it's not going to be a civil service arrangement anymore. What is called theatre partners is going to come on board. It will be driven by representation from the federal government and the business community to ensure this facility is run as a business enterprise. And that is the interesting aspect of this. The income that comes from this will be shared into three parts. A part goes to federal government TSA, a part goes to the bankers committee, and a part will be dedicated to maintaining the structure. So the issue of shortage of fund is not likely to arise. And whoever is so engaged to maintain, it's not forever. The first 5 years, if you do well, then there might be reason to retain you. If you don't do well, you're booted out, and the better hands are engaged. So we're in for better days ahead.
All right, so what kind of events will be holding there that would generate the kind of funds that we are talking about?
Okay, first let's look at facilities inside.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you know the facilities that are enshrined there, you will now know that National Theatre is in for global competitiveness in terms of event hosting. We have the Membo that can seat 5,000 guests at a go.
5,000?
Yes.
Wow.
When put into proscenium setting, 3,005. Such a bowl can host any international event. By the time it's ready, we'll be attracting conferences, summits from the UN, from the AU. So, big concerts can be held there. Even sports, okay? Like World Wrestling Federation, they can come here. Yes, it's about setting it up.
Okay.
Adjusting.
So is that flexible too?
Oh, it turns.
Wow.
You know, the stage turns.
It's amazing.
Yes, the stage turns. So that is the flagship facility in the National Theatre.
Yeah.
We have other halls, Cinema Hall 1, Cinema Hall 2. So some of these can be used to project films. So films can be running at no end, and traffic will be there.
What will be the attraction? Because as it is, you talked about, hosting United Nations and African Union or even ECOWAS conferences where need be. Now, we have always known that when these kind of conferences want to come to Nigeria, Abuja is the seat of power, where they have the International Conference Center is the go-to. But one can also argue that the National Theatre has not been in place all the while, so that's understandable. But what would be that attraction to say, okay, no, don't go to Abuja, come to Lagos?
It's about marketing facilities. This is what we have to offer you. Cooling system that is top-notch. The landscape, technological innovation that also come into this. We have a system that can interpret languages, up to 25 languages at a go. So when you bring international community together of varied languages, well, where is that facility in Nigeria that has such equipment, where 25 languages can be interpreted at a go? It is the National Theatre. So there is no doubt about that. So it's a choice.
All right. Now, the issue of government involvement in any of these sometimes sends concerns to Nigerians, and that's the concern I'd like you to, put bare so that Nigerians can have more confidence in it. The issue there is, it is expected that when monuments like this are given to private hands, they are maintained better sometimes, and then they are taken care of better, and they are marketed better. So what's the role of the private sector in ensuring that this National Theatre that is coming back on goes on well, and then we don't have the interferences and the bottlenecks from government?
I've hinted at that. I told you that what is called theatre partners. Okay, the bankers committee is a private concern. Federal government has no one kobo in this. It is the theatre, it is the bankers committee that's bringing all the funds to do this. So they're in business. You think they will want that to go down the drain? That's why they are part of the management system to ensure that best business principles are injected to ensure that the place runs well, gains are made. So,
all right. Now, talk to us about the National Theatre has always been a lovable monument where people naturally want to go there. Since it hasn't been in use, people have found love in different places. So, what will bring back that love? Because if all the facilities are in place, it's still not necessarily a catch yet, because they can find those facilities in all the places they found love in. So what is that thing that is going to bring back Nigerians to the National Theatre?
The catch is already there.
All right.
You know, we didn't go to sleep because the edifice is being revamped, restored. We have to be creative and also dig deep into our mandate to see how can engage Nigerians. When I came into office last year, September, barely 3 months in office, we came up with the first ever National Theatre Festival of Unity that attracted the youths mainly. We used this as a platform for talent hunts to see the best in our youths in terms of music, dance, poetry, and drama. So, we held the second edition this year. We also erected a marquee where you can see host some events. And in the marquee, the Hollywood came in their numbers to do some shootings there. So, traffic is coming back, and from the 1st of next year, there'll be a film show in the marquee, and that will run for 1 month. And thereafter, we are going into some understanding with some marketers to see how it can be more regular. This Unity season, if you go to the National Theatre, it's a big hub of activity. We also went into understanding with Evergreen Musical Company. We had a live band performance for 50 bands.
50?
Yes, in contest. And mainly youths too. Winners emerged, beautiful prizes, you know. So we partner with Evergreen. State government, Lagos State government also endorsed. It was a huge event, you know. So, and next year we'll improve on this, and there are many more things we are bringing on board. April this year we also did a public play reading of Virgin Scripts, and the best one that we also signpost after editorial input will be published by the National Theatre. So, National Theatre is the platform. Whatever it endorses, it shows us it's one of the best you can. So, the process that one has to go through to get to that level is very thorough, and we have the structures in place already. Because we want to also give mobility to the National Theatre, because the National Theatre is for the nation, as against the conception that is for Lagos. Yes, it's located in Lagos, but it's for Nigerians.
Exactly.
So, of course, you can't replicate National Theatre everywhere. But through programming, we can connect with everywhere in Nigeria. So, the public play reading will be quarterly. So, we're now connecting with universities where theatre programs are run, so that every quarter one university is visited and we have this public reading. It will create awareness. So our talent hunts, we're also going to go to the nooks and cranny via our cottage theatre platforms that we're also going to bring on board. So that way we are first targeting the 6 geopolitical zone, so to say, so that we move to each zone and see what talent is available in each zone. Every zone has something that's unique to it culturally.
Exactly.
So this is what we intend to explore It's our fervent belief that we have many Davidos out there, many Genevieves out there, with kids that are not yet discovered. We want to give them platform to showcase what they can do, and hopefully from there they can begin to fly. You know, we also have a program on sights and sounds of Doba. Doba is a very rich cultural engagement
In the north.
in the north.
Really interesting.
Yes.
Very, very
Yes.
royal. Very,
Yeah.
very rich.
So we're also exploring this to bring it for the world to appreciate and enjoy. Then there's an aspect of our culture that our children don't know much about. Again, like you see pictures, and royalty is huge. But we don't know history of the royalties, their significance, their philosophies. Okay, so we also designed a program. We are going to be looking at the paraphernalia, of royalty across culture. So we'll move to culture and signpost this with cooperation with the state government, so that the best in everybody's culture in terms of royalty is projected. As that is being done, we look at the history, the philosophy of existence, the people. So when you understand all of this as a child, more respect is given. There's value system that will be adjusted for positive ends, and the winning appreciation of royalty, we believe, will be restored. That way, our morality will once again be on course.
Wow, there's a whole lot of activity you have ahead of you there. But for the sake of the younger generation, just in 1 minute, for the sake of the younger generation who may not know much about the National Theatre, who may not have read about the National Theatre, who didn't know the glory days of National Theatre and the significance and all of that, what makes the National Theatre so thick? Just talk to us in 1 minute so we can round.
One, it came to be as a center to host the second World Black and African Festival of Arts and Culture. And all the relics of that festival, they are still here with us, housed in Sibak. By the way, by the time the renovation is completed, key agencies that were there before will come back. It will be a one-stop entertainment center that you visit, you see all. Right. So history, our history, cultural history, is key to the National Theatre. When our children come on excursions, we play film, video to them about the glorious days.
So they get to see this.
They get to see it and connect to the present.
All right. We have to leave you here now, but I know there will be time for us. In fact, with this, you've told me now I'm going to pay a visit to the National Theatre so I can see for myself. Really interesting.
We'll expect you.
Thank you very much. General Manager, National Theatre, Ikomu Lagos, Professor Sunday Ododo, thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.